Howdy guys, welcome to the cave. I'm Mark, and you're watching Blue Street Customs. Hey guys, welcome back. So today, I've got something a little different for you. Not quite a model, but it has to do with them. Now, I've seen a lot of people on YouTube and everything else doing these models and painting things up. And what are most of them using? Dehydrators. That's right. Now, I've looked them up, and they're not cheap. So I've come up with my own way, and hopefully it'll work. I'm going to build my own. Now, you've seen my video for my paint booth. And if you haven't, well, I'll put the link up here in the corner for you, and it'll be down in the description below. And while you're down there checking out that link, why not hit that subscribe and that bell button? And if you want, I've got other links down there for Instagram and my Facebook group. Go check them out. But before you do all that, let me finish up here and you can finish watching this video. So as you know, I built this. This here, homemade paint booth, works really good. It's got a switch here, and yes, it's noisy, but hey, it works. Works good. It blows out through the window here. So I just open that up. There's a couple fans in the back. I just blow it right out, right? This here, just furnace filter, some copper pipe insulation. I put a few magnets in the back. Away I go. That's not what we're here for. What I'm going to do is turn this into a dehydrator. So let me zoom into a few parts here that I picked up. Some of the stuff I've had. Most of it's fairly cheap. You can find these in most of your local hardware store. And I'm going to retrofit this so that when I'm done painting, I can close it up and use it as a dehydrator. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so right off the bat, sorry about the fan noise and sorry about the crappy audio. This is just a plain Jane old phone. It's what I have. Sorry I can't do better. But let me show you what I've got here. So, first of all, I've got my paint booth, right? Now you could probably do this with most paint booths as long as they're big enough and you have enough space. And the reason I say that is you're going to be putting stuff in here that is going to create heat. Now, you want to make sure that you've got enough space so that you're not melting anything like the sides. Mine's made out of plastic. Some are made out of cardboard. I've even seen some of these ones that are pop-ups and they're made out of some sort of vinyl or something like that. So you got to make sure you've got enough space so that you don't melt anything. Now, the first thing I did was clean mine up as much as I possibly could. You've probably seen maybe in a video before, this was all covered in paint. So I'm going to make something that is easier to clean for one, but I need to cover the inside of this with aluminum foil. Okay. Now to hold this aluminum foil down, I've got some aluminum tape. Now one, that's also going to help reflect my light so that I can see better, and if I use the camera, you guys can see better. All right, so this and this, that's going to cover the inside. The reason I'm covering the inside is I'm going to take this heat lamp socket. All right, now this one's just a squeeze clip-on style. I'll probably end up getting rid of that and just using the socket piece itself. I've got myself a heat lamp. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one. If this one won't create enough heat, because this is a small one, this one doesn't want to create enough heat, I do have this one. Now again, these are, just from your local hardware store. They're a heat lamp. You can get clear ones, so it doesn't matter if it's the clear or the red. I just happen to find this one, and that's the one I kind of grabbed in case this one doesn't work. Now, I also went on Amazon and I found these. If I can, I'll find the link for these and I'll put the link down in the bottom for you. And it comes with its own case that you can build. Now what this is here is a thermostat. Now it comes with the thermostat probe, right? So you can monitor the temperature in here. You can set your temperature and do a few other things. This here works off of 12 volt, so you will need some sort of 12 volt pack. But fortunately, my computer fans that are in here and these LEDs that are up here are already on 12 volt power pack, which is at the back. And if I need to, or if you want me to, I can show you again how that is, but it should be in this video here for the paint booth. So I'll be taking power from that power pack coming into here. Now this, once you program it, it will turn your heat lamp on and off. So I will be cutting this cord to be able to plug it into here. Okay, so your 12 volts on one side and your AC voltage is on the other. But I'll show you how to do that when we get to it, because you're only going to use one wire. This is a switch that will turn it on and off as it reaches its temperature or cools down too much. So I got the one with the case. You can also get them without the case and just get this piece. But I opted for the case because I want to put it probably inside here on the side somewhere. And I don't need it all full of paint, so I want to protect it. Okay. Also comes in these little static bags. So we'll make sure that stays in there for now until we're ready to use it. Now I could also use just a regular feed through switch. You know, you open this up, you know, you hook your wires up the way it tells you to, and you can just turn the heat lamp on and off, you know, and you can monitor it a different way. Maybe just a regular thermometer, you know, if you want to put it on somewhere so that the thermometer is reading the temperature in here. And you can do it that way, a little cheaper yet. These here weren't expensive. I think it was like 18 bucks for two of them. I don't remember, so don't quote me on that. So that's where that's at. I'm going to cover all this. Now you're saying, what about the front? It's wide open. Yeah, it is. But what I'm going to do is, right along the side here, I'm going to make a cut through here and open it up probably about 1/4 inch. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to use some of this dollar store foam core board. Okay, I got black, there's white, whatever you happen to find. Now, I'm choosing this because it's going to fit my application and my needs. So, depending on what type of paint booth that you have or built, find the product or build your own type of style. This is just showing you mainly not so much the door that I'm building, but what that stuff is, and to help inspire you to design your own dehydrator. So, like I said, I'm going to cut and I'm going to put this right here, and that's going to slide all the way through. All right. Now I can feel the suction already. There's quite a bit of suction through the top here. I'm going to show you. So it's going to leave a gap right here at the top, and I can already feel that it's wanting to suck it in. Okay. So what I'm hoping that that's going to do is when the door is in, my heat lamp is at the top and my suction is down at the bottom, right? I'm hoping that the air coming in here will grab the heat that's sitting up high, because heat rises, of course, and it's going to pull it down through the model or my parts, whichever I'm dehydrating and trying to cure quicker, and suck it through the filter and outside. So let me get a few things set up and we'll get to building this thing. Okay, so let me show you what I've done here so far. So I took this apart. This here just has a wing nut on it. So I took that off. Now I took the size of the cord and I tried to figure out how I'm going to mount this. And I found that the best way is to basically just let it hang. Now by letting it hang like this, it's not heavy enough, it's not going to hurt the cord, but I can also adjust the height up and down in case I need it closer or whichever, right? Maybe it's too close and I got to bring it away. So I'm just going to cut through the ceiling right there, as you can see, and I just cut it big enough. I cut an eye-shaped, you know, just cut here, and cut here, cut an eye shape. or an H shape, whatever you want. Fold one flap down, one flap up, and I can take the cord and I can push it through like so. Okay, so that I can adjust it however I want. Now, of course, this cord is going to come back over to that temperature sensor, like I said. But before we hang all this stuff up, I want to put the tinfoil on. I wanted to do this first so I know where it was going to get located. Now I can cover everything up. So I'm going to take this filter off, take my clips off here to the side, give everything a final wipe, and then I can start applying my tinfoil. Now, what am I cleaning it with? I'm cleaning it with lacquer thinner, because that's mainly what I spray. So that cleaned it up fairly good. It's not perfect, but it's a paint booth. It'll never be perfect. It's almost time to change my filter as well. So I'm going to set the camera up. We'll get all this covered up, and we'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, guys. So here's what's going on. I cut up a couple strips, right? That's the same stuff this is made out of. And what I found is I cut this hole, right, for the foam board. Now, I also realized that this end's got nothing keeping it in place, so I'm going to take hot glue, and I'm going to glue two of them here, one on each side. I've got lines marked so that it matches this side. So there'll be one here and one here. And then this side here is a little flimsy now. So I'm going to take one and I'm going to hot glue this one in. And then I'm going to start my my tinfoil. Now, something else that I kind of figured here. I'm not going to bore you with a time lapse. Plus, I'm going to be working up underneath, all inside here. I'm pretty much going to be in the way, and you're not going to see anything anyways. So I'm going to get that stuff done off camera, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's going to take me a few minutes, but I'll be back in a second. Hey guys, so all the tin foil is in. Taped it everywhere with this aluminum foil tape. And I had to go out and get more because I didn't have enough. And I had to get more aluminum foil. So I've also foiled the ceiling, relocated my 4 LED lights that are in here because I only temporarily put them in just to see if they would work. And now I've got them positioned where I want them. So I've got my temporary switch put in for now. And there's my lights. I do have a 3-way switch coming. And that's going to replace this one. So I'll have an on 1, an off position, and an on 2. The on 1 will be just the lights, like it is right now. On 2 will be the lights plus my secondary strip light and the fan. So that's what will happen. It'll turn on those lights, it'll turn on those lights, and it'll turn on the fan. When I switch it to position 1, it'll be just those lights. Then I can turn the whole thing off and it'll be good. So this way I'll be able to have light in here, show you what I'm doing, and everything will be good to go. We won't have the noise of the fan. So let me show you what's next. Okay, so the next thing I've got to do is I got to get this thing hooked up. Now, like I said before, I'm just going to let it hang. And that is going to hang right here. Okay. And I'm going to make it so I can adjust it up and down, whichever way I need it to. All right. And this wire will go through the ceiling of this and come over out here. Okay. Where this thing is going to be mounted. Okay, guys. Now that the tinfoil is done inside the booth, and the door is cut in, now it's time to get down to the electronics part of it. Now, this seems complicated, but it's not. So let's get building this. Right here, all we've got is some acrylic pieces covered with the paper. We'll peel that off. We got some screws to mount the box together, and we've got the control unit. And we've got the screws to mount this to the box. So let's find the one we need. Obviously this one here is going to go on top, like so. So we'll start by peeling off one side of the paper. Okay, now that we've got that off, so we can now mount this to it. So we're going to take our screws, we're going to put one in first, put a little plastic spacer on, and from what I see, this doesn't matter which way it goes on. So we'll start this nut here. Now we're not going to tighten it down all the way until we get all the screws in and the spacers in. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this on here, right? But to do that, we need these. Now, there's two that are the same, and then we've got this. Now, the one with the big notch is obviously going to have to go up front, right? Now, I don't like the way that looks. See how the wire is real close to the edge there? So I'm going to loosen off these screws and see if I can shift this board over just that little bit. And then we'll peel the paper off of these ones, and we'll use these screws to secure it all down. Okay, so I'm noticing, and I don't know if the camera will pick up this clearness or not. Right here, I don't know if you can see, that's the hole. You can see that different kind of, it's not as clear. That's the hole right there. Now, that's the edge of the hole. There's the end of the cut. This side's not a big problem. But this one, that's the hole. And way over here is where it's cut. So this one was miscut, or something was. Because it actually looks like this one's leaning. So is that one. So I'm just wondering if this one, maybe we'll spin this one around and see what happens. Well, I'm thinking I actually have to loosen these ones off because this piece right here where it's cut is actually hitting the relay, not allowing it to go over far enough. So here we go again. Loosen it off. Look at that. Okay, so let's see if we can tighten these up while that's in there. Don't look like it. But I got two snug enough that I should be able to take this off. And there we go. Everything seems to be fitting down nicely. It's by far perfect, but I think that's about as perfect as it's going to get. So we're going to put these in next. And there we go. Now, this wire here, this is your temperature probe. Now this is waterproof, so it can be put in water if you decide that you want to try and use this for a fish tank or something. Just has a plug on this side. Obviously this does not go into water, only this. So this will plug into here, especially if we plug it in the right way, like so. Now, I'm only using mine in a paint booth, so I don't have to worry about water. I am going to mount this somewhere that it's not going to get too much paint on it, because obviously I can't make it fully tight. You got open gaps here and there all the way around everything. So now, if you wanted to, I like the look of seeing electronics, but if you wanted to, before you put all this together, you could get a black paint that will stick to plastic without sanding, because if you sand it, you're going to see all the sanding scratches. But you could paint the inside of it, could paint the outside of it if you want, but if you want to keep it, you know, as protected as possible, you could paint the inside of the plastics, and then it would be nice and shiny black or blue or whatever color. So just a thought, but I like the look of seeing electronics, and there is an LED light right here in the corner. So, and obviously you'd have to mask off where the numbers shine through. And I am a bonehead because now I got to take this cover off, because I just noticed there's plastic covering the letters. Oh well, I'll get that done, but you don't have to watch that. Now you saw me build this, so that'll get mounted up here. So what I'll have to do is cut one of these wires, right? And that'll go here, one in, one out. The other one will get plugged into the wall. Then I got to take my 12 volt power from my switch, right? Because I have full-time power coming in, which is how this light is working right now, right? So I got to tap into that full-time 12 volt power and put it here, positive and negative. Then this thing will be set up and ready to go. Then I have the probe wire. And this probe wire, I made a hole up here right beside where this is going to mount, pretty much right here. And that will get set up on the side wall. So I'm going to move the camera so that you can see a little better what I'm doing, and I'll get all this fed through. So give me a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, so like I said, this here is going through the ceiling, so I'm going to take this out for now so I don't have to deal with as much weight. Put this out because it's not going to be needed. Keep this up through here. Now when I cut my hole through, I left it tight. I didn't actually make a notch for the wire, so that this, the friction of it, actually helps hold it in place. So now this, I'll tape that down or hot glue it down or something, make it nice and neat. Now this is going to go right here, like so. Now what I might do, I haven't figured out how I want to mount that yet. I'm thinking maybe a couple zip ties. This way I can easily take it off after if I have to do anything to it. I don't want to glue it down or anything like that. This probe piece here is going to just go through this tiny little hole right here. And I'll show you this after where I've got it. So that's going to go there. I got to cut this one. I'll probably come across here, cut it so I can put it in. And then this here I'll probably just continue on through. Probably continue it back up so I can plug it in the wall over there. Now, one thing I have to consider, because if I want this to go up and down, like if I want to lower it or anything, what I'll probably do is make this at the lowest point of what I want, so that this wire is where it needs to be. And then if I raise it up, I just have a little extra up top, not a big deal. So now that I've got that set to the lowest point that it will ever be, now I can do something with this, and I know where this can be cut. Now make sure you don't cut this while it's plugged in. I'm pretty sure most of you are all smarter than that. So we're just going to separate the two wires. Okay, so I found a different way to mount this, make it a lot cleaner, nicer looking. You don't have zip ties everywhere, and reusable. Now I got this from the dollar store, but I'm pretty sure you could probably find it at the hardware store, things like that. It's Velcro tape, hook and loop, and they are self-adhesive, sticky back, so you just cut what you need, and a piece on here and a piece on here, and you're good to go. Okay guys, so I'm at a point right now that it works, but I am going to have to retrofit a couple other things. I have done a test run on it. So I have gone ahead and extended this probe wire, and it does work, see? As I hold it, it goes up. I needed to do that because putting it over here, it wasn't getting a exact reading from the temperature right here. Now, something else I noticed is with my fans, it is sucking way too much air and cooling it off way too much. But before I get to that, let me show you what I did with the door. This here is just regular foam core board from, the dollar store or wherever you want to get it. And all I did was cover the inside portion of it with tin foil. And again, that just slides through there. All right. Now, I tried it with just my regular filter and the board. Let me show you here. I still have to tape my wire down, but like I said, I was just doing a couple tests here. So this, what I was hoping is when I turn the fan on, the light would create enough heat that with the fan going, it would suck air through this gap, right? Cool off the top of the light bulb and my roof, but yet still maintain the heat. And it wasn't. I was barely getting up to 28 degrees. So, just for testing purposes, I took some tin foil and I started covering piece by piece, right? Kind of like so, to the point that with the vacuum of it, and here I can even show you that. If I turn this on, see how it sucked all that in? Watch, it'll suck it right in. All right, so my fans are creating quite a vacuum. Now, I even went ahead, took another piece, just to put it right here. Oops. All right, then I watched the temperature inside, and I'm getting upwards of 38 and a half degrees Celsius, which I'm looking for about 45 degrees. So, because I'm still not reaching my temperature, and this here was just trial, so there is going to be a revamp coming, but this is the basics of what I'm trying to do. Now, on top of that, to be able to get to my 38 degrees, I had to take a piece of tin and cover the hole. See, my hole had to cover the hole, and the vacuum holds that in place. And then I was able to adjust my airflow, right? And that's what got me up to my 38.5 degrees. So what I'm looking at doing is retrofitting another fan, probably up here in the corner, so that this one turns on when I turn all my heat controls on for baking. And this one is a lot slower and only one. I've got 3 inside here, back in the corner. So this one will just take the air. I'll probably put it down here in the bottom. And it'll just take it and blow it out the way it should. And hopefully that will eliminate the amount of airflow, because right now I've got too much. And I'll have to figure out how to fill this in. Maybe I'll make a piece that comes down and goes to the top of this kind of thing, so it comes from here and in, because it is inwards a bit, right? And then I'm waiting for a switch, so I'll probably give you guys another update on this thing once I've got it working properly. But this here at least gives you the basics of this thing and how it is used and what it can be used for, and to show you that you can make one of these dehumidifiers by yourself. It's easy. Again, you just have to figure out your airflow, how to contain your heat and control your heat. This here helps you control your heat, but if you don't have enough air movement, it can overheat a few things, but that there should stop it. But if you got too much airflow, you won't reach your temperature. So that's where playing with this and airflow and things like that will all come into play. Now again, the size of the box that you build it in, I'm doing it in my paint booth so that I don't have another thing taking up more space on my counter. I got 2 in 1. So if you like what I'm doing here and you want to see an update video later on of this working properly, once I get it all figured out, leave a comment down below, because I want to hear your comments. If you like what I'm doing, well, hit that thumbs up. Definitely hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you get notified when I get post videos. And in the description down below, I'll have my Instagram link so you can come check me out there. And I'll have my Facebook group link down there, so come and give me a follow on both of those. Also down there, I'll have my Patreon. So if you feel that you want to try and help me out a little bit, you're more than welcome to check that out. But I definitely love having you guys here. And as of the time of filming this, I'm up to 370 subscribers. So thanks to each and every one of you for watching and subscribing. Much love. But I think I'm going to leave you here at this point, and I'm going to try and figure out some more of this. There is a video coming out soon, part 2 of my 62 Impala. So again, hit that subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss that video or any of the others. So until next time, later.